Hello there and welcome to a brand new lesson. This is Hab Beyond Numbers where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we are looking at the question 1C of the BECE 2026. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to translate a real-life word problem into a mathematical expression. You should be able to identify fixed charges versus variable charges. And then you should be able to calculate total earnings using arithmetic operations. On our left hand side are the solutions or answers to the trial exercises I gave on question 1B. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So for our question 1C, that is what we have on the screen. It says a typist charges $68 for the first 8 sheets typed. Now, and $11 for each additional sheet. Calculate the amount and if the typist typed a total of 38 sheets. Let's quickly look at the key concept here before we come back to solve the question. Now, if there is a job where you would have to pay a total that includes a fixed amount and then an additional amount, this is a typical example. Another example is you subscribing to services online. So there are monthly subscriptions where if you exhaust your points or credits, you can be charged as pay as you go. So to get the total amount you are going to pay, then it is simply the fixed amount you need to pay that is provided you stay in that limit. But if you exceed that limit, then you start paying per charge. You see, so the total amount we are saying is simply the fixed plus the rate times the extra units. That is how much more are you using after depleting your fixed purchases. Now the extra units is simply the total units minus the units charged by the fixed charge. So how do we go about it? So anytime you have these type of questions, you first need to identify your fixed charge. Then you also identify your rate. Now, after all that, you find the extra units beyond the fixed portion. That is, how much have you used after you were given the fixed portion? And then you now calculate the total. So now that we know this concept, let's go to the question. So back to this question, it says a typist charges this amount of money for the first 8 sheets typed, and then $11 for each additional for each. Now we have to calculate the amount and if the typist type a total of 35 sheets. So what I have here, these are 35 sheets, right? These are 35 sheets the typist is supposed to type. And we are saying for the first 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's take out these 8. So if you take these 8 out, it is this first 8 that if the typist type for you, you are actually going to pay an amount of 68. So $68. Okay. Now, for this one, for this remaining, and how many remains? First of all, we have what? 8 sheets. So out of the 35, if you have taken 8, then we have what? 27 sheets left. So for these 27 sheets that are left, it is saying you are going to pay $11 for each. So for everyone, you are going to pay $11 each. Easy. So we ask ourselves, how much then are you going to pay for all of these 27? How much are you going to pay for all of these 27? You see, and that is what we are saying here. That what to get it, you need to calculate the rate times the extra unit. The extra unit we are talking about is the 27. You see, so the 8 sheets away, you have 27 extra. It simply implies that we have what? The rate, which is $11 times extra units, which is 27 sheets. And that is going to give us a $297. You see, so that is the amount you need to pay for these 27 extra. Now it is calculate the amount earned, that is the total. So our total now, or let's say amount earned, is then going to be equal to the fixed amount, which is the 68 we have here, 68, then plus the extra amount, that is the rate times the extra unit, which we had here to be what? 297. Adding that together gives us a what? A $365. That is all. You see. So let's quickly go over what we have done. As we have read the question, the first thing we needed to do was to find the number of additional sheets. You see. So out of the 35, I selected out the 8 that is going to be charged at 68 cedis, $68. Then our additional sheet was 27. You see, so that is 35 sheets minus 8. That gave us the 27. Now that we know the sheet for the price for the 8, we then calculate for the price of the additional 27. And that is what the rate, that is the unit rate of one sheet times the number of sheets that we are going to what? That she is going to type. So that is 11 times 27 sheets. $11 times 27 sheets, which gives us a $297. We know the price for the 8 sheets, we know the price for the 27 sheets. Hence, our total is going to be what? The sum of these two, and that is all. So I'll give you some trial exercises just related to this so that you try your hands on them. The solutions will be on the next lesson. And I'm not saying that so that you quickly go and then check the answers. Try solving yourself before you go to confirm your answers. So these are 5 questions. As I've said, you can pause and then attempt them before moving on. Just have beyond numbers so we learn maths the easy way. If there's any issue of concern, you can always let me know at the comment section. And you can also look at the homepage where I have lessons on all the topics that covers the syllabus. See you in our next lesson, and bye for now. Do stay safe.